Okay, so it's been a few days or a little over a week since I've had an episode, but I've had a lot of time to spend with my family and sharing Thanksgiving, and I've got some great ideas going into December of some wonderful lessons and episodes. So I hope you'll stick with me and stay tuned. One of the things I wanted to go back and discuss was something I touched on in the civics refresher courses. Now, if you have not seen the civics refresher courses, I'd suggest you go back and look because it is just something that everyone needs to know. And sometimes if you're not involved in that world all the time, you don't know everything or you don't remember everything about it. And Vena Teaches is about keeping you savvy and keeping you sane at the same time. Not always easy. Now, in Civics Refresher 102, we talked about the different freedoms. The 101, we did religion, assemble, and petition. And in 102, we did press and we did speech. And we talked about the freedom of the press and the freedom of the speech and what was seen as the rights ending at the tips of our noses. And one of the things I mentioned was about the press and about the media. Now, there's all kinds of media outlets. There's newspapers, there's news magazines, there's physical ones we hold in our hands, there's digital ones, there's news networks. And I want to say that in the past, back in the day, when I was a lot younger, there was not all these news networks, y'all. There was three. There was NBC, CBS, and ABC. And then there was the public broadcasting station, PBS. So really it was four news networks that catered to all of America, not just one group or another. A fact was a fact. They did not distinguish between, I wonder what type of people are in our audience. Okay. Are they more conservative? Are they more liberal? Do we need to spin our news to please the Democrats or spin our news to please the Republicans? That's not what they did. They just kind of told us the news. It was America's news. It was about everybody. It did not send another group angrily huffing off, okay? They were just, here's the news. And so things have changed. You've got news networks now. Now, y'all, this is not a scientific something that I've studied and polled people about, but my idea is that you've got cable news network 24/7. And you got to do something to bring in ratings and to bring in people because after a while, when you've heard the same thing over and over and over again, you don't want to hear it anymore and you turn the news off. Okay. Now I've gotten kind of lately turning the news off myself because I'm tired of hearing a lot of it. Sometimes it just brings you down because it seems like all the stories now are just sad and miserable and they're making money off of this, guys. So anyway, I want to make you savvy in how you can tell the difference between a fact and then how someone is spinning a fact to get you to feel a certain way about a person, a place, or a thing, or an event, because it happens all the time. Listen, we do that ourselves to our children, to our students. We add the adjectives and adverbs to either entice them into learning something new or either to make sure they stay away from something that we might feel is dangerous. As parents and as human beings, we add adjectives and adverbs to things to give something personality and a little bit of life. Now, just as a refresher, an adjective describes a noun. A noun is a person, place, or thing. So if I say their eyes, if I tell you they're blue eyes, they're green eyes, they're brown eyes, they're black eyes, okay, then I'm adding a little bit of a description to kind of hook you in a little bit. An adverb describes the action in the sentence. Okay. So if someone is cooking, Mary is cooking dinner. Mary is painstakingly cooking dinner. Well, we know that Mary's taking her time on dinner. So you're adding something that describes that action. Okay. Adjectives and adverbs, and they're great. But beware when someone is using adjectives and adverbs to try to persuade you one way or another, making you think that something that is just the bare bones fact might be a little bit more. They're trying to pull you to one side or another. What do I mean? Let's take this little example. It's pretty elementary, but hey, that's okay. The news is that Sally Sue walked to the grocery store. That's the news. Sally Sue walked to the grocery store. That's it. Sally Sue, from wherever, walked to the grocery store. We don't know what she's getting. We don't know how old Sally Sue is. We don't know what color Sally Sue's skin is. We don't know the color of her hair. We don't know what she's going to the grocery store to get. We just know that she's walking to the grocery store. We know she's not riding in a car. We know she's not riding on a bus. She's walking. Now, what if Sally Sue is somebody important? And I wanted you to think something one way or another about Sally Sue, but I don't want to get on the news and say, hey, everybody, y'all are going to just love Sally Sue. She's great. What can I do to make you feel one way about Sally Sue or another about Sally Sue? So let me add some adjectives and adverbs to the sentence here. Okay. So how about this? The always gregarious Sally Sue happily walked to the neighborhood grocery store. Oh, man, Sally Sue, she's gregarious. Not only is she gregarious, which means she's fun-loving and easy to be around and affable, she's always gregarious. She's always in a good mood. And she's not just walking to the grocery store. She's smiling and waving at her friends and everything else as she walks by to get to the... Wait, she's not even just going to the grocery store. She's going to the neighborhood grocery store. So she is a community-oriented person trying to help everybody out. I love Sally Sue. But if Sally Sue was running for city council, if she's always happy and always affable and she's helping out her neighbors and she's waving and happily walking, I think Sally Sue might just get my vote. Oh, but what if I don't like Sally Sue? What if I don't want Sally Sue to be city council? Well, let's check this out. I'm going to take off this highlighter. Okay. The often maligned and sometimes odious Sally Sue angrily walked to the corner grocery store. I don't like Sally Sue. She's often maligned. That means that people always think she's doing something that's not positive. She's always got a bad reputation about something. And odious, if you don't know what odious means that just a really unsavory personality. No one wants to be around Sally Sue. And what the heck is she so angry about? At least she gets to go to the grocery store. There's people without the means to go to the grocery store. And she isn't even going to the neighborhood grocery store. She's going to that corner store, the one that the floors are dirt. I don't like Sally Sue. You know, I can't believe she'd even run for city council. I'm not voting for her. She's not a very nice person. I'm not voting for Sally Sue. Guess what, guys? Sally Sue walked to the grocery store. Sally Sue walked to the grocery store. Sally Sue walked to the grocery store. The fact is all there, isn't it? But by my adjectives and by my adverbs, I am trying to persuade you to feel one way or another about old Sally Sue. So, my words of advice to you: beware the adjectives and the adverbs. Be savvy. Be smart. Listen to the news anchors and see how they start off their stories. Read the newspapers and see how they start off their stories. They're inflecting and they're putting in their opinion into the news. All of them. They're putting their opinion in to persuade you one way or another. Okay? Be savvy. Be smart. Beware the adjectives and the adverbs. And I will see you soon on another episode of Vena Teaches, where you get to learn something new. Have a great day.